It's Ask an Engineer and the Rose Brothers.
Hey everybody, Happy New Year 2019, kicking off with Ask Engineer like we do every Wednesday. This time is January 2nd, the new year. It's me, Lady Ada, with Mr. Lady Ada. We've got Noah and Pedro here, normally on the other side of the screen, normally showing you their 3D printed stuff, but today they're in New York City visiting us at the Adafruit factory.
Hey
Welcome.
guys. Hello. Happy New Year's, everybody.
And then you also about blink in between them, which I think is
yes,
cute.
there was no 3D Hangout show, but I guess we'll try to somehow...
Well, let's show what you're doing here. I mean, you had just a major project you just came out with, and people can maybe ask questions during Ask Engineer, the question part. People can ask you, not that they can't ask you during your shows, but maybe they want that exotic experience of asking on this show.
I'll go ahead and jump to the chat just in case.
All right, well... Whoa, there you go.
Hey,
And,
7:03.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's just like weird timing. It just happened to...
Throughout the show tonight, if you go to github.com/Adafruit/CircuitPython and star our GitHub repo, CircuitPython, you'll hear a ding, probably, and you'll be able to test out our new IoT device. It is a GitHub Star Drive. That's what we're calling it.
Star Drive.
Star Drive. So right now we're up to 703.
703.
So go ahead and do that. It is super fun.
Okay, anyways, so what else is on the show tonight?
Well, I want to say Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
Pedro. And thanks so much for being part of this Adafruit adventure with us every single week. See, what y'all don't see behind the scenes is we have our remote meeting that we do, and we have emails, and we have chats, and the inspiration that you provide to the rest of the team and all you do. So thank you so much. Every single week you publish.
Oh, right back at you and the whole community. I mean, I get a lot of inspiration from you guys and, of course, the community. So, yeah.
So thank you. And we found each other on the internet, just like many of the people that are at Adafruit through the show and tell, through the community. So
I think that's going to be the biggest pro tip. If you want to get on, go on the show and tell.
Yeah, you might end up having a job that works out for a while.
It's actually happened with a lot of the people that are here.
So thanks again for sharing all the stuff that you do. We see your stuff in so many projects. 2018, when I look back, all the things that you helped AT makers with assistive technology. So thanks. It takes, it's very easy not to share.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's more work, it's more effort, and thank you for doing it.
It's a lot more work than people think, but yeah, it's totally worth it in the end when you see people post that remake or that remix or tweet that, project of.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so in celebration of you being here, guess what the code is?
Rose Brothers.
Hey.
Yay. And it wasn't just for you. The stars for you.
Yeah, cool. So you're the discount code, but this is how we actually do everything here, because we pay Noah and Pedro. They don't do this for charity. It supports us, an open source hardware company here in New York City. Noah and Pedro are here. It supports their work and all the things that we like to do. And that code will be live up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern time tonight, or when I remember to turn off the code. Lady A is going to talk about show and tell, people around the world showing and sharing their projects. Great new show and tell for 2019. Back in the mailbag to stop by, your emails to us. We have Python on hardware news. There is so much things going on in the world of Python and hardware. We have an entire segment devoted to it now. Time travel, we're going to talk about the top products of 2018 and the top blog posts. It will blow your mind. So this is the only time we kind of do this. Help Wanted, the Adafruit Jobs board is back, and we have a feature job. Made in New York City, some factory footage. 3D printing, we're going to have a great video that has some of the projects that you did, 2018.
About 36 of them? Something like that?
34,
Wow.
34, we counted. Remember, I had to do a thumbnail, so I had to pick out them.
That's it's like, I know.
So we're going to have that, and we also have some other videos that y'all did as well. We have some new products. Do we have a top secret tonight?
We do.
Okay, we got a top secret.
Top secret.
We'll answer your questions, and we do that on Discord, adafruit.it/Discord. That is where we do things. Trivia question. Answer a question, you get to win a prize. We'll do that at the end. All that and more on, you guessed it,
Ask Engineer.
All right.
All right,
so, Lady
boy.
Ada, so we're done with the holidays, but we still have freebies, and we should mention shipping stuff because we get asked a lot. So this is how we dispense that information.
Absolutely, $99 or more, you get a free Proto half-size breadboard. That's the thing all the way in the corner there. Same shape and size as a half-size breadboard, so perfect if you have a project that's on a breadboard. You want to make it permanent. Use a perm Proto. $149 or more, you get one of 4 different coaster designs. These PCB coasters are beautiful, come with little protective bumpers too, so you won't scratch the table they're on. And they feature Adabot with Hans, Minerva, the LEDs, or Mo, I think. or Connie. I can't remember right now. But there's a set of 4. You get one with each order. It's a random one. So place multiple orders, you'll get different ones. $199 or more, you get free UPS ground shipping in the continental United States. That's high quality ground shipping with tracking. You'll actually get it. You'll know where it is and when they're showing up. And $299 or more, you get a Circuit Playground Express. It's our all-in-one board. You can use it with a wide range of different programming languages and systems to learn how to program, from MakeCode, drag and drop, to microblocks, which is also a drag and drop system, Circuit Python, Code.org CS Discoveries, which is a teaching curriculum, as well as Arduino. So you have a lot of choices for what to use all these sensors and LEDs with. All those things are free when you order. You buy stuff and you get more stuff. How can you go wrong? And at each level, you get all the previous things as well.
This is what we decided to do. Give away hardware. That's what people want. For shipping UPS ground, US, that's what we suggest. If you can wait a little bit longer and you don't care about the same type of trek-in, postal, and then international, we suggest DHL. If you're in the New York City area, if you order before 11 a.m. and your zip code is part of one of the zip codes of Manhattan, you can get same-day delivery. Lady Ada, we did this show and tell. We've been doing this for so long. Chris Young came on the show and tell, and he was, the first time he was on a show and tell, he has a screenshot because it's all on YouTube. And
6 years ago.
6 years ago, and 6 years ago we were in an apartment. Lots changed. We're still doing this.
Has changed. I think last time we were here, this whole space was empty.
Yeah.
The epoxy had just gone down on the floor.
Yeah. Now we have, depends on how you measure things. New York's a little different, but 50 or 60,000 square feet in New York, it's now a factory. But yeah, we were in an apartment, and I think you were on the show and tell and doing stuff back then as well.
Somewhere
We
in
started in
2013?
Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around, I want to say August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could pull it up if it gives
Yeah. You know what's great is it's online.
It's
on
there.
the internet.
Oh.
So, Lady Ada, we had folks show up, including Chris Young.
Yes.
You mentioned on the show and tell. What was on the show and tell?
Okay.
And who shared it?
Well, we had a bunch of people show up. Thanks to everybody who came by. It's always a little slower during the holidays, and then it kicks back up in the year. JP came by to demo his wheel drum machine. It's going to be like a circular drum machine with light sensors. So he's working on that. Still making a lot of drum noises, but hopefully real soon that will be working. Erin is also working on a tutu with Neopixels. We did a sparkle skirt a long time ago with Flora, and you'd sew the Neopixels in. But now we have these really cool Neopixels on strands, so it makes the project a lot easier. And so maybe for beginners who don't want to do any sewing, they will be able to build this project. Chris Young came back. He always comes by every Christmas around times to show his ray trace rendered Christmas cards. This one was pretty cool. Had a lot of colorful Christmas ornament balls. And he also showed off an LED ornament that he's working on. So his 3D printer died at a printer bot, and it's no longer made. So he picked up a Prusa, and he's going to get it in a couple weeks, and he's going to put LED dots, actually the same dots that Erin's using in her tutu, into a dodecahedron, like a star, and it'll maybe sparkle and icosahedron. So you know this stuff because you've done so many.
I love icosahedrons.
Okay, everybody. Okay, what's everybody's like regular shape? I guess dodecahedrons, icosahedrons. What's dodecahedrons like? What, 12?
20, D20.
Yeah, that's what he's got. And
That's a dodeca? Or?
Yeah,
Oh,
he had
I
a 12 because he
thought
said it was 20 dots. Icosahedron's 12, right?
I thought it was 20.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We
I
have
don't
some
know.
confusion.
Maybe people in the
The chat
chat
room will tell us.
can tell
The chat
us.
can tell us.
But we all love these hedrons.
Yes.
Hedron in on the hedrons. Scott came by and wanted to promote a blog post that he started right before he left for the holidays called Circuit Python in 2019. What do you want to see? We'll also talk about it, but post in Discord, the Circuit Python channel. That's one place, or on the blog post you can reply and tell us. What do you want to see for 2019 in Circuit Python? We've come a really long way in the last year, but there's always more to come. Also, he showed off a really cool Casio synth that he's going to do something cool with. Amelia showed off a project that she wrote a guide with. It'll be live soon. It's a Neo Nano ring. It has little Neopixels in a ring that's has some wires, like a chain that goes to a bracelet with a gemma that controls it. And what's interesting is she wrote the code for this project in Arduino, CircuitPython, and with MakeCode. So you can actually, no matter what your desired programming system is, I don't know what your favorite is, but you can use any of them.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse not to have a Neo Nano ring.
Mm-hmm. Guide coming soon. I saw the video for that. Nice little
Yeah,
preview.
it's cute.
Awesome.
All right,
it's
well,
really good.
it'll come out. It'll be out soon. Phil B showed off an old monitor he got for $12, and this is a very special monitor. It's a 4:3 aspect ratio. Usually it's like 16:9, I think is pretty common. But 4:3, it's the same as old computers. Like if you're doing retro arcades or like retro computing, those all were 4:3 aspect ratio. So this is a coveted LCD monitor. They're not made anymore. They don't really make 4:3s. So he's got that, and he thinks maybe within the next 6 years he'll make an arcade cabinet. And then Ryan, his lamp died on his desk, so he made a Neopixel desk lamp with an ESP8266 and even made it work with HomeKit. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, and he can like send commands through HomeKit. So I guess he's looking for the REST. I don't know exactly how it works, but I guess he's looking for the REST commands.
It's like something between the two. It's like
Homebridge or something.
Yeah,
I don't know,
Homebridge.
maybe it's a Raspberry Pi or something.
Sounds cool.
It's cool. So that's what we had on the show and tell. It was packed.
Okay. All participants on the Show and Tell get an as seen on Show and Tell sticker. Email support@adafruit.com, and we'll send you out one. Also, stop by, of course, every single week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and log in the show. It's part of the Adafruit Live Series shows. Tomorrow, JP will be showing the project you just talked about.
It's Drum Machine.
Drum
We'll
Machine.
see how far he gets. He's working with David Stells, too, who's
Yeah.
been doing some great code for people's projects.
And then next week, 3D Hangouts returns.
Yes.
Yep.
That's right. And you're on vacation right now, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by.
technically.
Like, I know this was like you're on vacation, but you're like, I can do.
You know, everybody wanted to come to New York except me, so I was like, well, let's stop by the office at
Yeah.
least.
It's been kind of warm.
You do. And I think folks know because they've seen like Disney videos. You do live in
yes.
a place where people go to vacation anyway.
You even have like the Disney shirt.
I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it vacation. It's like our weekend.
We're living
Yeah.
it.
we like live there, but
But people
yeah,
usually
it's the
go
perks.
where you're at for vacation. So
This
yeah,
is
probably,
true.
Probably nice that you're coming to New York.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're going to do while you're here?
The typical touristy things: the park, the zoo, Statue of Liberty, maybe.
Yeah.
Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
Maybe
Times
do some
Square.
nice
I know, you're
ice
here.
skating.
You're,
I don't know.
you're going to
So
see like cold stuff.
The Nintendo
Yeah.
store is a lot of fun.
I was about to say, yeah.
Nintendo
Yeah,
store.
that's a fun one to go to. And I think some of the holiday lights are still up.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
I
the tree's
see the
still up, right?
displays.
Until
Yeah.
the 7th or
Oh
something?
yeah, the
So,
tree's still
yeah.
up for sure.
So definitely
That's
some
a big tree. They gotta keep it
Yeah.
up there. Get their money's worth.
Yeah. Is there any particular food or something that you wanted to? Because sometimes there's like, oh, there's this crazy donut.
I think just pizza.
Yeah.
We've
Pizza
been
and
on.
coffee. All the coffee shops.
There's a lot of coffee.
We want coffee.
Well,
You're not going to be
You're not
missing
gonna
out on
wanna-
that.
Every
There's actually apparently, not too far from here in Carmine, there's like a famous like Joe's Pizza, and whenever we walk by there, there's
Yeah.
always a huge line. Like they serve slices, so it's fast, but it's like it's one of the
It's
best
just-
slices in New York. So if you want,
Oh, okay.
go there. It's not
Check
you,
that
you
out.
can go there
I
before.
think we just walked by it.
Yeah. It's like everything's called Joe's Pizza, so you got to watch out. It's that,
Oh, maybe it wasn't it then.
It's on Carmine.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Pick a mailbag. Let me read this. It's State of the Fruit every single week. Y'all get the notes, State of the Fruit, but you might hear it this week. This is one of them. Adafruit team is awesome. It makes me so happy doing business with you. Best regards, Terry. Thanks,
All
Terry.
right. Thanks, Terry.
Sweet. Love
Thank
it.
you.
All right. Don't forget, we're on adafruit.it/discord. That's where we answer questions and more. And now it is time for this week
In CircuitPython.
in Python on hardware. There's so much stuff going on every single week. It can't just be contained in a newsletter. It's everywhere now.
It's exploding.
We have Noah and Pedro's project. So you use CircuitPython for this?
Yes, we use CircuitPython with it. Yeah. So the main code was written by David Stells, but he wrote it in a way where I could just change the parameters at the top so that it would match like the build that I have. So it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, object oriented and
Yeah.
like easy to edit code. It's like you don't have to recompile or have any special Arduino stuff. So he also wrote a guide about this, about state machines, because he kind of uses this as a way to make a guide about how to develop state machines.
Yeah.
Because there's so much, there's buttons and RTCs and motion.
There's definitely states going on. There's
There's a
more
lot
than
of
one
states.
states in here.
So we'll show this video, and it's also on YouTube. But I thought this was neat because it's made with CircuitPython, and you could easily inspect the code. It shows up as a USB drive. So kind of good example. Very complex thing that's now made easy with CircuitPython.
Heavily commented, lots
yeah.
of customization for it, for like,
Do you want anything else?
yeah.
This is Cleveland Pie Ladies. They made snow globes, and this is one of our CircuitPython projects. So these are a bunch of snow globes. You can see that's what they're holding.
Yay! Yes.
We did some GitHub updates. So we added more badges, we added logos, we added topics. We also verified our Adafruit repo. So it's very clear it's us. If the code is from Adafruit, it's from Adafruit. So we just did some. It's not spring cleaning. It's more like winter.
Winter sweeping?
Winter sweeping or something.
Shoveling the snow.
But we also wanted to get in preparation for this project, which we've been showing.
We're up to 710.
Yeah, this is how many GitHub, how many stars we have in our repo. So it's Adafruit, github.com/Adafruit/CircuitPython. And if you star a repo during the show, you'll probably hear it go ding. And right now we're up to 710. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to make sure we had all things in our repo set up. This is kind of cool. Lady Ada, you might know about this. This is from Geek Mom Projects.
Oh, yeah.
She flashed the UF2 bootloader onto this HCC module.
So this is like a little pick and placeable or like hand solderable SAMD21 module. I think it was a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo. So it's a SAMD21 all-in-one module that you can program, and it doesn't come with CircuitPython, but she figured out enough on how to program the UF2 bootloader onto it. And now she can use it with CircuitPython. So you can, if you have one of these HCCs, go and install CircuitPython on it.
Yeah. This is a CircuitPython powered LED hoodie that a parent helped out with his kid, and they were able to make this full video, code, and more. This is kind of neat. This is a Python powered gift for grandparents. So this parent
recorded the children,
recorded the grandkids, used the NeoTrellis. This is one of the real big benefits of using Python and having it show up as a USB drive.
You just drag new WAV files.
Drag new WAV files.
Now it's a different soundboard.
Once they recorded the kids, put it on the soundboard, the grandparents can play any of the little squares, and this is of the video I'm going to show.
Oh, very short. And Mama just yeah, today I was listening to all of my teachers.
This is from roboticsmasters.co. They're making an add-on for the Raspberry Pi that helps CircuitPython work with robotics for the type of robotics they want to do.
Yeah, there's not a lot of details on this. This is something we're keeping our eye on. It sounds pretty cool. It's a robotics hat for Raspberry Pi. But yeah, and it looks like a hat, but beyond that, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, CircuitPython is getting to that point where we're watching people do stuff that we didn't expect, and we're just like, this is great. Oh, more stars.
Thanks.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Then there was also the MicroPython talk that Christine did at CCC, and I just pulled out a couple slides. They're 5 years in, and thanks for the shout out, Christine and MicroPython folks, because we have boards and we're doing our variant, which makes it easy to use for education and for our hardware. But this is where they're at, and they're launching their new hardware soon. This is the Pi Board D.
Looks fancy.
Yeah.
It's got like, I think it's a Wi-Fi or cellular or Bluetooth module.
Yep.
It's got antenna. It's got like a, called the, I think it's an M7 chip for STM32 M7. So it's a super high powered, 200, 300 megahertz chip. So it's getting close to like you can run Linux on it, or you can run CircuitPython and have it just be very fast.
And so if you, of course the links are in the chat in the newsletter, but it's called Python for Microcontrollers, How High-Level Scripting Languages Make Your Hardware Projects Beautifully Easy by Christine Spindler. And there's a YouTube video and also a regular downloadable video, I think slides on the CCC site.
And shout out to CCC because they post their videos really fast.
Same day.
Like same day.
Yeah.
And they're great videos.
This was interesting. This was a two-part post. There is a MicroPython port for the Renesis. I don't know how to say that.
Renesis,
the RX 63N and the RX 631. And we also spotted this. There's a STM GR Citrus.
Which is, I think,
port.
maybe based on that. It's a little unclear, but it's like it's a dev board that is popular in Japan. Again, Renesis is a Japanese chip company, so you don't see it a lot.
Yeah.
They're used a lot in Japan, not as common in America.
Like the Casio calculators and stuff.
Yeah, the Casios and other Japanese products tend to use them. So it looks like somebody's done a MicroPython port to it, and you can run it on this dev board called the GR Citrus.
And then the new XB3ZB has a MicroPython configuration portion to it. This is the MicroPython terminal where you can configure your XP device. So that was kind of cool. More MicroPython in other places, getting people doing Python on hardware. And then we gave a sneak peek. This is a preview of the Grand Central. This is our new CircuitPython powered Arduino Mega form factor. Silk by Phil B. T. Miller had worked on this.
Maybe I'll show that for, it's not out yet, so stick around.
This is one of the testers that goes with that. And this is all in our CircuitPython Awesome list that we keep updated all the time. It was in the Adafruit daily newsletter celebrating 2 years, and this is part of the Code Plus community that is CircuitPython. And we also have the 2019 post that Scott talked about in the show and tell. That's in there too. So anything you want to see in CircuitPython, let us know. That's why we got here, and it's worked out well, is because lots of people doing stuff and lots of good feedback, and then we celebrate the projects and the code together, and you can see that on our newsletter, Discord, and all those places.
Whew. It's been a year.
Yeah, there's a lot of news. Okay, time travel. This week in time travel, we're going to do stuff a little bit different. We're going to do the top list.
Top tens.
So, you know, Pedro,
Countdown.
have you seen these yet?
I have not.
You've been on a plane, so you haven't seen
Yeah, I
these
haven't
yet.
seen it yet.
Good.
All right, so let's do the first one. We have some top 10s of 2018. So first up, top 10 blog posts.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Do you have any guesses before I do this? This one's easy because that's probably.
I was going to say, I think you said it, so I'm not going to.
Okay, no guesses.
I don't want to
guess
get. No,
someone
no.
guess.
I mean,
Sorry.
Okay. Let's see.
okay.
Number 10.
Number 10.
We'll go through here.
The
The feather wing is the thing.
The feather wing is the thing. This is when we were announcing a lot of people were starting to make feather wings. A lot
Yep.
of companies are making feathers, and actually, this is taking off even more now that the particles are out, and
Yeah.
those are going to be the particles are going to be feather format.
So what we did is we were like, here's what's going on. We put out a standard. People are using it. And then a lot of sites noticed, and they said, okay, like feather wing is the thing. This is where the market moved to. This is the format that people want. So that was, out of all the blog posts, thousands of thousands, number 10. Number 9, extracting the private key from a Trezor Bitcoin wallet with a $70 oscilloscope. Everybody likes that.
Everyone loves Bitcoin hacking. They
Yeah.
do.
LG releases WebOS Open Source Edition optimized for Raspberry Pi 3.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't really hear of this afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a recent one.
This is
This
very
is
recent.
very good.
Yeah, so this is already, he's up to 220,000 views. This is time to say goodbye to Arduino and go on to MicroPython or Adafruit CircuitPython.
I think so.
And yeah, apparently a lot of people.
Well, you're
like
liking
that.
it.
Yeah, and so this was number 7, and this is from.
So check out the video. We just
yeah.
posted about it, but we didn't do the video.
Yeah, Pocket Projector with Raspberry Pi, a couple of Raspberry Pi projects.
Yeah.
Next generation of high-powered microcontrollers. This was all about Linux and running Python and things like CircuitPython on these processors. Earlier in the year, Naomi made it to the cover of Make magazine. We had helped out. There was a little bit of a dispute with Make and Naomi, and we found a way for people to come together. And one of the results was Naomi ended up on the cover of Make. So we wrote about that, and people liked that, and they clicked it.
Yay.
Some sad news. MOSFET passed away in 2018, and so a lot of people knew him. So, of course, he is there. There he is. That was in our apartment where the show and tell was, that Chris was there.
Yes, 6 years ago.
This is when I was receiving.
He'd hide in the boxes.
He'd hide in the box and he'd help me out. So
He wouldn't necessarily help you by handing you stuff, but he'd just be hanging out
help
there.
out as far as like get in the way and stuff.
Yeah.
But 17 years, we really enjoyed having a MOSFET in our lives. That's a good run for a cat. Number 2, CircuitPython 2018. That was the post that we kicked off 2018 with, and that's what number 2 is. And then number 1, the Apple II source code for the logo language found vintage computing. This was Mike Brella, and he was able to find the code, and he worked with the person who had this, and it's on GitHub. So it's,
it's pretty neat.
yeah, he had emailed them. So that's some of the 2018 stuff. We also have the top selling products of
Okay.
2018. All right.
All right,
Number 10.
Number 10, Trinket M0. Love it. Everyone loves the Trinket. It's small.
Yeah.
We've updated it from the original Trinket, so it's now a Cortex M0. It's so powerful. I mean, it's more powerful than a Mega. That's your pins, but it's 48 megahertz. It's
And
got
runs CircuitPython.
It can run Arduino. You can run it with MakeCode with Maker. So that's not surprising.
Yeah. Okay, next up.
PowerBoost
PowerBoost.
1000. People love the PowerBoost 1000. It powers so many projects. It's got charging and 1 amp or more out from a LiPo battery. It's just such a handy board.
So, Pedro, so far you've made projects with the Trinket, made projects with the PowerBoost,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check. Next up. Feather
Huzzah,
Huzzah,
ESP.
8266.
Everyone loves ESP8266. I mean, ESP32 I'm guessing it's somewhere on this list too because the 8266 is good. The ESP32 is better, but still, this is a classic.
Okay.
Gemma.
Gemma M0, another Circuit
Another.
Python one.
You know, we took the Gemma original and we, just like the Trinket, we spun it. We added a little Neopixel. It's now Maker or CircuitPython Arduino compatible. So what a great board for wearables.
Classic.
The classic motor shield, but you know what? You can't go wrong. The Adafruit motor stepper servo shield.
Well, you can go wrong if you buy a knockoff and it doesn't work and like all your stuff. Yeah, like there's people who are like, oh, I bought this thing and it was so cheap and like it wasn't an Adafruit one. You have to be careful with motors because there's power involved.
But
Yeah,
this motor shield, you know, it's funny. It's actually one of my first designs for a shield. It's my second version of this motor shield, but I didn't know much about robotics. I just did the best job I could, but it turns out it worked quite well. And because it uses I2C for all the motor handling, it works with every Arduino compatible, even ones that are based on the ESP266, don't have a lot of pins, or like STM32. It's all I2C, so it always works, and so that's pretty nice.
Next up.
The BNO 055. Yeah, this one's nice. It's a IMU that has built-in fusion calculation. That means that you don't have to do the math to do orientation stuff. It's all done inside. I'll just give you X, Y, and Z. So handy if you're doing projects where you want to do tilt and motion robotics.
Okay. Next up.
Raspberry Pi Zero W. Yeah, this was, I think this came out not last year, maybe the year before. Hard to beat for $10. You get the Raspberry Pi Zero. It runs a Linux. It's at 700 megahertz, and it even has this Wi-Fi Bluetooth chipset. You can add a camera to it. You can have it act as a USB gadget. I mean, it's a really, power this with the PowerBoost 1000, and you've got like a little Linux computer to go, and it's just so tiny.
Next up.
The Raspberry Pi 3 Model B+. This one is a new one, so not too surprising. The newest Raspberry Pis do well. This one has PoE capability, has a nice heatsink on top of the chip. This is the all-in-one, everything you ever want Raspberry Pi. It's got like the quad processor, it's got 4 USB ports, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, camera, display. This is kind of what we suggest people go with if they need a Raspberry Pi.
Next up, number 2.
The ultimate GPS, man. People love the GPSs. Yeah, this one, it's a classic. It's got great performance. We've actually even improved it a little bit. We've got guides and tutorials for everything. It's skinny. It's got built-in data logging. I just love this GPS.
I remember when Lady Ada showed me this design, and she's like, "What should we call it?" And we both came up with Ultimate GPS because we're like,
you came up with it, I'm sure.
We were bouncing names off each other.
But
I'm like, it's the. I go, okay, it does all this, and I'm like, what are all the other ones out there that? And none of them were even close. So I'm like, oh, it's just the Ultimate GPS.
This does everything.
Ultimate GPS.
It's the ultimate.
Ta-da! So
yeah, it's
Ultimate GPS.
No question.
And number 1.
Number 1.
2018.
I thought the SP32 would be on
Ah,
here. Circuit Playground
guessed.
Express. Not too surprising. It's our premier board for learning and building. We're doing so many projects with it. Classrooms love it. Workshops love it. Teachers, students, beginners, even experts. We see people who are like, I'm an engineer for 30 years, and I toss this into my toolkit, and whenever I just need to do some sensing, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got infrared, speaker, microphone, buttons, switches, accelerometer, LEDs, capacitive touch, and as I said earlier, it runs like 6 different programming languages, so it's great for everybody and everything. And there might even be a new Circuit Playground coming out this year.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. It's not out yet. Don't ask.
We're always making more versions of stuff. So for the folks who are in the electronics business, DIY electronics, maker electronics, there's some trends. One of them is really fast processors that can do things like CircuitPython.
Well, notice what wasn't on the list. There wasn't anything that was an 8-bit processor.
No 8-bit processors.
No
on
8-bits. It's all 32.
Yeah. So.
And the Feather M4s are new, or I think some of the M4 stuff would show up.
And even with something that's say historically like a shield, now we have CircuitPython, the motor.
Yeah. No, it works with our Metro M0
M0.
and M4. Yeah.
So
slider, right?
Yeah, if you're wondering where things are going, this is it. So lots of Wi-Fi, lots of sensors, things that. It's a scripting language, essentially, that runs on microcontrollers, and this is what people wanted during the year. We also released CircuitPython for Raspberry Pi, so it's a Linuxy world and a high-performance processor world with the most popular programming language, Python, in the world.
That's right.
So all this stuff together, and I think Circuit Playground Express in particular, because you can use MakeCode, which means you get JavaScript. You can use CircuitPython, which means it's USB. And then you can also use Arduino. So you got all the things covered. discoveries from code.org.
Yeah.
So like you get everything.
And then, you know, only a couple weeks ago, we haven't updated the description, but we can do micro blocks, and so people are doing. I've seen like people are doing like Rust and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot more languages are coming, and what's interesting is, you know, we're seeing people who are developing new platforms. They're using the Circuit Playground Express as one of their base boards to do testing with. Like, it's a good board to support if you're coming up with a new programming language or programming system.
Yeah. So, hug report, and thanks to Noah Pedro, who's done amazing projects all year long with Circuit Playground Express to help make it one of the most popular products. They saw lots of cool cases, designs, things that you did with it, and they're just like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and likewise to the community, they came up with a lot of things. The ornaments came out. We had yo-yos and so many different things.
Yeah.
It's really cool, really great shape, and
Okay.
those Neopixels.
So that's our.
How can you say no?
That's our list.
Just got to remind everybody, you can click on the products and scroll down. You can see all of the guides that have been used on that.
That's right.
With that product.
That's right. Many known Pedro guides. Check this out.
All right, help on a Adafruit jobs board. If you have skills, post them up if you're looking for a job. Or if you're a company, this one is from Patcher.io. Patcher.io makes it easy and ridiculously, a startup that makes it ridiculously easy to design printed circuit boards. Check out the jobs that they have available, jobs.adafruit.com. It's free. We just put this up because we want to help maker companies find cool people to work at their places, and the Adafruit site tends to have a lot of cool engineers, makers, hackers, designers. So visit there. Open source hardware, Lady Ada, we're an open source hardware company.
We are.
1,696 guides.
We had a lot of guides that came out. It's
Yeah.
holiday, but we don't stop.
It's all on the big board this week.
Okay, Isaac Wellish did a New Year's Eve Circuit Playground ball drop, a simplified version. I think maybe we showed it last week, so we'll do a video this week. But check that out. It was New Year's last night, and maybe you want to celebrate it again. We have Neotrellis M4 Live Launcher. I think that was also from last week. That's Colin did that, and he uses like Ableton Live, and so this allows you to, it can color code it, and it even communicates with Ableton, so you can use it to launch your little scripts. And he showed it on Show and Tell, so check out last week's Show and Tell. And then we've got a two-for guide. We've got the New Year's Eve ball drop, this epic project. You built a multi-week project.
Yeah, we're going to show this video soon.
We'll show the video, and then David Stells did a co-guide along with it called CircuitPython 101 State Machines. You know, eventually, whenever you program, once you start getting past the very basic, you know, something happens when something happened, you press a button, LED lights up, you'll eventually want a state machine, something that keeps track of a complicated, you know, transitions and motions and of logic inside of your project. Doing that in CircuitPython is kind of interesting. You can capture state in objects, and if you're using an M4 processor, which has a lot of memory, you can do some very interesting tricks to make state easier to manage, a lot easier than C, where you just have one like ginormous if-else loop that you want to, you know, strangle yourself. Check out that guide, the CircuitPython 101 guides. They're about Python, but in a CircuitPython context. We've got the Garmin Lidar Light Rangefinder as well.
Yeah.
We got a little mini video.
Me.
So this is a Garmin Lidar light. So it's a true Lidar. It works, I think, up to like 50 meters away or something ridiculous. And here it's, I think, just showing distance in inches. You've got a 7-segment display, and then on the other side there's the Lidar. It's battery powered, uses a Power Boost 1000, all that, and you can just use it as a little laser rangefinder if you want to make your very own laser distance sensor. We also have from a person, Paolo, I think, who was on Flavio, who was on Show and Tell. He showed off this really cool clock, and then he did a guide for it. So it's got a proximity sensor, so you wave the clock, and it has a matrix with a Raspberry Pi. It's using CircuitPython library support. We have support for CircuitPython libraries in Raspberry Pi. And then it slowly dims down, and then, of course, you can wave over it again. So it's a cool desk clock that's, like, super fancy. Yeah. And then Carter did this fun little demo just testing out these OLEDs, and I was like, hey, write a guide. It's kind of like an Etch-a-Sketch, but with an OLED. You have two knobs, and you can twist it, and you can do little drawings.
On CircuitPython.
All on CircuitPython. He loves the Itsy Bitsy M4. And that's what he used, so he's got these knobs to turn in. Maybe you can get like some fancy enclosure, and you can make your own portable OLED Etch-a-Sketch. Maybe you can shake it, you know, in the accelerometer, and it'll turn on. So cool. Maybe, some ideas. And then Aaron did a Neopixel fairy crown. We have a video to go with that as well.
We're going to show it.
Get crafty with an Adafruit Gemma M0. Make a festive fairy crown from holiday craft materials. Add a strand of Neopixels and get ready to shine. Use the MakeCode drag and drop editor to make the lights twinkle in a way that's 100% you. See the full build tutorial on the Adafruit learning system. And remember to subscribe for more fun Adafruit projects.
Okay.
Definitely was.
We're back.
All right, and those are the guides.
Yeah. So, next up, some factory footage starring Adafruit.
And the Grand Central.
Take it away, yes.
It's got a great texture.
And we have some without sound, so I thought we would show. This is the
It's
Grand
more
Central.
selective. So
Selective
that's what
sonar.
they've been doing. I mean, this week was shorter, so
Yeah.
we got what we've been focusing on is trying to get some Grand Centrals done.
Yep.
So you can see there's a lot of pins, and we don't hand solder them.
Here's the back of the boards.
Yeah, it's featuring a similar design to what you see if you went to Grand Central.
And you know what's cool is every single part of the Grand Central design, Lady Ada showed it somewhere. Discord, Twitter, on our show every single week. You saw everything from it just being an Eagle CAD all the way up to it being manufactured, all parts of it. So thanks to everyone who's thinking about getting one. I love working in the open. I know sometimes it's like, hey, we want to buy it right now. But, this is one of the projects Dana's working on.
This is a simulation of the time lapse that we usually do. So now, if you want to have this in your own home, you'll be able to have your very own New York City sunset and sunrise.
And as always, this is the Adafruit view. This is what our pick and places fall asleep to or wake up to every single morning.
And every single
here
night.
in New York City. That's nice.
Lovely. So peaceful.
Very gradual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's nice.
Okay.
3D printing.
Hey.
Pedro, here you go.
Hey.
That's your stuff.
Hey.
Now
Okay,
we're getting to
excellent.
you.
So we're going to do a few things. First, we're going to say hi to you.
Hi.
Hello.
And you have a 2018 video, we have a ball drop video, and then we have the chain speed up video.
Yes.
So I'll start with just asking a couple questions, and then we'll play the 2018 video. You always get asked the same questions. I'm not going to ask, like, what's your favorite printer and all this stuff, because it's like it all depends, and like there's so many things that go into it now. It's like I kind of feel like whatever printer works for someone.
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
like, what's a good camera? It's like the one you take photos with.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Exact same
That's-
questions.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So I am going to ask you though, out of the projects that you selected in 2018, why did you pick these, and why were they your
That
favorites?
was a great one. All right, so we really looked back and we looked at, all right, well, what have we done before, and what are the new things that we've learned, and really what are new designs from Lamar, and really it was Cricut, it's of course more Circuit Playground, and everything that's Circuit Python.
Yeah.
So when we looked at it, we're like, wow, these are actually some really new different ones. I think we took a lot of kind of baby steps to get into robotics. It's kind of fun how like
Yeah.
you kind of got into it as well like that. It's like, hey, I haven't done this before, but we got to learn somewhere. So that was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
robotics
picking
is
all
really
the
hard
Cricut
for
stuff.
everyone.
Yeah.
And that's why we did Cricut, because there wasn't an easy way to do robotics that it wasn't scary to like, oh no, I'm going to break $2,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
It was cardboard, it was 3D printing, and like you got some of the most sophisticated robotics, but using very low cost stuff, and then being able to iterate with a scripting language like Python a lot faster than like compile away.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Way
it felt
faster.
kind of scary too because they were really messed with servos and just basic motors. But with Cricut, it was really easy to get into it.
Okay. So
Oh,
mostly,
yes.
so mostly, so your thing was like, where did we stretch our skills? Where did
Yeah.
we? Where did we?
So
Push?
everything robotics, really.
Yeah.
I think it was robotics. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
This is the year of the robot.
And then, was there any any project in particular that's your favorite? If I had to,
I think probably the slider that you did, mostly
Yeah.
because
Is that
it's
yours? No,
for
your like, I
production.
have my own. Like,
Oh, okay. Well, I like it because it's what we use for doing all of our time lapse for
Okay,
actual
slider.
production
Yeah.
of
Right.
showing.
Use it every
you know.
day, so it's
Yeah.
like you're eating
Cameras
your
are
not
really-
food.
Camera's
Yeah.
a jam. That's kind of where we came from. So
Yeah.
any time we get to kind of work on that is really fun.
Of course, we want to make a CircuitPython version of it,
Yeah,
so
it's nice.
maybe
Well, we
this
can
year-
get there. I mean, yeah, we're getting the
Yeah.
Cricut could be a good slider.
Totally.
okay.
Cool.
Well, I think that's a little bit of like the director's cut that folks get an idea of what this video is. So we're gonna play it. It's about 3 minutes, and it's 2018 projects.
Cool.
Everything you've done
Can we
and
talk
more.
over it?
Well,
everything.
You don't have to, but
well, there's music, so it might be hard.
oh yeah,
Yes.
probably not.
So
Maybe
we'll
just like sit back and relax.
you get a 3-minute
Okay,
break right now.
cool. Well, I'll talk to you then. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
And,
we're back.
Since we closed out that highlight reel,
Yeah.
let's go to the project that was the last one. This one took a while. This was a big.
This was we ideated in like early November. Was it supposed to actually drop?
I think it was like these
It was like a
Gemma
Kickstarter, had,
jewels
like,
or something,
rhinestones,
right?
remember?
That's what it
Yeah,
started off as.
originally because we had these rhinestones and we actually got them, and I was like, it turns out it wasn't going to be as. So I said, basically, but we should have we didn't have a Neopixel ball drop type project, so I was like, we should do that. Because it's like a classic New York thing, and we just never made one. We have Cricket now. It's actually something we can do.
Yeah,
it's got a great history.
All right, so take it away.
Take it away, you.
Yay.
In this project, we're building a scale replica of the Times Square ball drop. This device triggers a ball drop 1 minute before New Year's, just like the real one in Times Square. This project uses the Adafruit Feather and Feather Wing platform. An RTC does the timekeeping and a servo lowers the 3D printed ball. A continuous rotation servo winds up the ball using a pulley system. Music plays over the speaker and Neopixels light up to make showers of fireworks. The ball slides up and down a piece of 2020 using 3D printed roller guides. Check out the guide for build instructions, code, and the 3D files so you can make your own. Get the parts to build this project, links are in the description. Use the tripler feather wing to add multiple feather wings. The base slides into a piece of 2020 and secured with T-nuts. The roller guides use ball bearings to slide along the T-slots. These provide the drop with a smooth linear motion. The ball is made of 2 domes that snap together with neodymium magnets. It's a dual extrusion 3D print made with translucent PLA filament. Neopixel LED strips wrap around a cylinder that covers the rollers. This assembly is installed and secured inside the domes using built-in mounting tabs. 2 strips are daisy-chained together to form a consistently flowing strand. The dome features geometric patterns that diffuse and illuminate the sphere. The code was written in Adafruit CircuitPython by Dave Estells. Values at the top are parameters that you can tweak to make this fit your project. I think this is a mid-size, lightweight project that could be used to create custom signs for special alerts, or maybe even just an automated flag system. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you have a happy new year. Don't forget to subscribe for more projects from Adafruit.
Okay, and last up, we have a speed up. Now, one thing I was going to ask you, so you added a new tool to your speed ups because it looks like it's magic now. Yeah.
What's up with that? It goes to the side, right?
What is that?
Yeah, what is it?
So Chris Young talked about it a little bit. The Prusas have this ability, once you add Octoprint to it, to have this plugin that's called Octolap. So what it does, it just inserts things between the G-code, so it moves the head out of the way, activates the camera so I can take a picture.
Gotcha.
Nice,
So
clean.
it floats.
So you've been experimenting with that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen some videos that people did recently where they start to put a still life in the back where there's clocks in the background
Yeah, I've seen
and all
those,
sorts of
yeah.
things. So now the background, because like it's kind of boring to watch a 3D
Yeah.
printing video sometimes. It's like, oh look, it's just going, but now they have clocks and see the sunset, like a plant, like they watered it.
And that's actually the reason why I want the CircuitPython slider, because now we can have it sliding across while it's
in.
doing the
Oh, that's
panning.
gonna be epic.
Ooh.
All right. So here is your weekly
chain.
spin up.
It's a coin purse.
Lots returns next week. All right, the code is Rose Brothers, celebrating our friends here, part of the Adafruit team. And that's 10% off all the way up to 1159. We're up to 711 stars. Thanks whoever did that on GitHub. Don't forget to go to github.com/Adafruit/CircuitPython, and you'll hear that ding. Okay, Lady Ada, you ready to do this?
Yep.
All right. Ready?
Yep. New, 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 new.
All right. First up, this is exciting.
Okay.
This took a while to do. In fact, there's servers involved. There's numbers and codes. There's everything. This is the IoT card.
The IoT Plus card. So if you would like to help support Adafruit IO, our premier and amazing and wonderful maker and also professional Adafruit IO IoT service, you can use it for free, of course, and you get a couple feeds and you get some capabilities. But if you really want a lot of feeds and a lot of data storage, and if you want access to some of our cool premier APIs like Dark Sky, which lets you get weather data without having to use any other sort of key, it does the data transmission for you. Pick up one of these Adafruit IO cards. You don't have to get the card, but this way you can gift it to people, which is kind of cool if you want, or you can keep it for later. It normally comes with a code on the back. The code does not appear here, obviously, because you'll get a code. And then
see this white spot there? That's where the code is. We had to,
we photoshopped that out.
We used tools to get rid of that. So
Yep.
that's the card. They look beautiful too.
Yeah, I
It's a
can
good
show
gift. Yeah.
I can show it's got like a hologram on it,
Yeah.
which is like super cool, and it comes in a nice crystalline bag, and it has instructions on the back on how to redeem it. And it's a little bit less expensive than paying month by month, so you get one full year for $99.
Yeah.
It's a $120 value. So if you would like to use Adafruit IO and support our development, every dollar we get from IO Plus goes right back into developing more cool Adafruit IO stuff.
You hear this all the time. People are like, oh, if there's only a way for me to pay for these IO services so they don't go out of business, I would do it. Well, here you go.
Here you go.
It's finally here. And also, we have a bill of rights for your data. We do all the right stuff. So if you want to reward someone who does the right thing, this is the way to do it. You can give this as a gift. You can use the new APIs that we have, like Dark Sky, like Dave was talking about. And it's also a nice collectible, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
So, okay. Next up, we have, speaking of beautiful metallic things.
Yes. We have some of these beautiful metallic cables. We had some USB cables in AdaBox, and we also got some of these audio cables. So they're standard 1 meter long audio cables, but they have these really nice metal cables to them. They're actual metal. They're not just like metal colored. They're not like metal colored plastic. They're actually metal, so they're like cold right now. Oh, thanks, person who just gave a star. So we have them in a couple different colors. This is like gunmetal. I call this like black metal because it's like the darkest color. We also have it in like kind of, it's either, you can say like rose gold or coppery. It's like steampunky, but it doesn't oxidize, so you get this copper color effect. We also have them in silver, which is just silvery, and kind of the silver you know and expect. And finally, in what we like to call gold is best gold. So if you want a golden color. So we have them in 4 different colors. We also have these, of course, in plain rubber ABS. But for the same price, you can get a metal cable, and they look really cool, and they're very durable and rugged. They work quite well. And they've got strain release and everything.
What's the bend radius? What does it look like when it?
I think maybe 1 inch.
That's pretty good.
I think you don't want to. I mean, you can bend it and you'll crimp it.
Say about 1 inch.
I think you probably don't want to do much more than that.
Yeah.
Like 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. But yeah, it feels really nice, and they're nice and metallic. So that's some audio cables for you audiophiles.
Okay, next up.
Okay, next up we have an NTAG 203 sticker. We're getting a bunch of NTAG 203 and NTAG 103 chips, cards, tags. If you're doing RFID or NFC stuff, these are the NTAGs are the format that are now supported by all the phones. So if you would like to have something where somebody taps their phone and a URL pops up, or it takes them somewhere, or a phone number, you want to use these tags, you can program them with our PN532 breakout and other RFID program. You can usually also program them via a phone if you'd like. So this is a sticker It's skinny, it's slim, you can stick it anywhere you want. Looks like the security stickers from, you know, books and stuff, but it's actually a full chip inside that's powered over our RFID signal.
Well, the star of the show tonight, besides Noe, Pedro, Lady Ada, and the community is... It's here.
Yes, finally we have the NRF52840 in stock, and we'll be putting more and more in stock. So, we had a little bit of a bug that we found at the last minute. We wanted to fix it up before we put it in the store. So this is the NRF52840 Feather. We also have a guide up that just went up right before the show, so you can check that out. It's our fully Feather compatible, native USB Bluetooth chipset. I really love this Feather. It's got everything. It's got USB, it's got analog inputs, it's got native Bluetooth, it's got lots of LEDs, it's got QSPI flash, so you can use this with CircuitPython, and it's really fast. It's got data storage. And of course, we've tested it with all of our Feather wings, and so you can plug in
100 plus wings.
100 plus wings, from an OLED to a TFT to Ethernet to whatever else we come up with, sensors. You'll be able to plug it in, and we have Arduino support is done, because Arduino support is pretty much the same as the NRF52832. We have a UF2 drag and drop bootloader that people are really liking. If MakeCode ever adds support to the NRF52840, this chip, this Feather will probably be one of the boards you can use it with. But for now, we've got Arduino, and we've got CircuitPython. CircuitPython, the Bluetooth API we're still working on, but you can use the board itself as long as you're okay with you're not using the radio quite yet. It's still quite a capable board. It's like 1 megabytes of flash, like 192 kilobytes of RAM, I think. Cortex M4. It's running at 64 megahertz. It's a fast chip. Like we said, 8-bit's not going to cut it anymore. People want 32-bit.
And when we say Bluetooth, is it Bluetooth LE?
I'm glad you asked. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
Well,
it's Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth Low Energy. Yeah. It does not support Bluetooth Classic. That's a totally different protocol. But most devices don't really support Bluetooth Classic anymore anyway. So this is BLE. And in Arduino, we have a bunch of different examples, from making a beacon to having like a bidirectional communication with our app. Our app works perfectly with this, just as you would expect. So you can download that for free. There's a couple other things you can do with this. It can act as a central. Some of that code is not as stable as peripheral, because central mode is not as common. So we suggest it's in peripheral mode. But we'll be adding more and more central support as well to the NRF528 family. So this is our first NRF52840 board. Getting that first chipset out is always kind of the most fun, exciting, challenging. But we have a lot more shapes. If you have a suggested shape or design that you would like, post it in Discord and we'll check it out. But we plan to do more, and this is just our first of the family.
All right.
New.
Okay. Product.
Recap,
Lydia.
Yeah, let's do a recap. Do you love IoT services that will stay up and not go out of business or sell off? Then use Adafruit IO, because it's here to stay. And if you want to use more bandwidth, feeds, dashboards, and you want some cool API access, pick up a 1 full year pass of IO Plus. It's more than the free version of Adafruit IO, and you help support our development and servers.
Full metal cables.
Full metal cable. These are full metal jacket cables. We got them in 4 colors: copper, steampunk, gothy, black, silvery silver, and gold is best gold. These are 1 meter long audio cables that you can use with any stereo 3.5 millimeter device. They're cool, and they're actual metal, not just metal colored plastic. This is an NTAG 203. This is an RFID NFC chip with an NTAG 203. I think 144 bytes of memory in it, usable with any modern smart device, tablet that uses NFC or RFID. We finally have in stock the NRF52840 Feather. Everybody's been waiting. Thank you for your patience. We are ready to ship it. This Feather has native USB, works with Arduino and CircuitPython, and hopefully more programming languages soon. It's a Cortex M4 with 1 megabyte of flash, tons of RAM, Neopixels, LEDs, even got an extra user button, battery powered. It's all the stuff you love about Bluetooth Low Energy, but it even has native USB, which makes it perfect for CircuitPython and more advanced development. Very integrated. That was the new.
Okay, don't forget the code. Rose Brothers.
10% off anything you just saw.
Yep. Okay, we have some top secret tonight.
Yeah, I'll show it.
Get out of the vault.
I'll show it.
Into your eyeball.
This is the first one of the Grand Central, so we're still working. You know, one of the things that's a build challenge is that this TQFP is 128 pins, and it's 0.4 millimeter pitch, which is a total pain in the butt. But we're getting there. You know, we're gonna tweak it and make it so we get great yield. This came out as selective, and you can see the beautiful silk screen that Phil B did. It's themed after the Grand Central Art Deco design. If you actually go to Grand Central. So this is coming soon. Sign up, and we're going to be making a bunch of these, and we're making more bunches of these, and then eventually we'll be fully in stock. But yeah, it's mega shaped. I think it's got 70 GPIO pins. That Cortex M4 running at 120 megahertz. SD card slot, you know, on-off switch in the side. If you'd like to turn on and off buttons and stuff, SWD, 8 megabytes of QSPI flash. I kind of bumped it up a little bit because I figured why not go all out with the Grand Central. And I thought this could be good for people, you know, building 3D printers. I know a lot of people use ramps, boards, they need a lot of GPIO pins. And the Meg is the only board, maybe the Duet, which doesn't have great I2C. So this might be a nice upgrade. You know, we've got really good M4 support. It's got tons of Circoms, timers. You get 120 megahertz. It's just blazingly fast. And of course in CircuitPython. Maybe somebody will write a CircuitPython 3D printer driver.
That's a lot of GPIO.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, like, is all there. The 70, and it's actually, I think, even a little bit more than. I mean, that's not even including. You know, there's GPIO that are used for all of the extras that are not even exposed. So, like,
I think this is going to get used for something we don't even expect. I think someone's going to be like, I want to buy 1,000, and we're going to be like, what? And like, it's going to do something.
Yeah, but it's a really good looking board. This is beta, so I will say, like, it's a new board. It's the first time we're using this particular chip and using this layout. I think we got it all perfect, but we're putting a beta marking on it. Anyways, there's going to be in the store soon. Sign up, and if you're in Discord, sometimes Discord people get a little bit of a heads up when something's about to go into stock.
We let people know in Discord all the time. So
a little bit extra. So
if you want to write beautiful code, CircuitPython, a beautiful board, this one might be for you. Okay.
This is very exciting. I think people are excited. They're ready for a new big microcontroller board.
Back in the vault.
Back in the vault.
All right, so we're going to do some questions. Every time we have guests, we go a little over, so that's just how it is. We're Adafruit.it/Discord. That is our place where we answer your questions, and I have a couple stored up.
Oh, we're up to 714, by the way.
Oh, let's just go to this. If you want to give us a star on GitHub, go to github.com/Adafruit/CircuitPython. Maybe someone could put a link in the different chats and hit star. It's very bright in here right now. That's why you.
It's tough to see. I'm sorry. It is really bright.
714. Anyways.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You guys are great.
Yeah, they do this for a living. So 714. We're getting there. How many feather wings can you stack on top of a feather? And what about the NRF?
You can. The NR52840 will work with all the feather wings. I've tested them, except I think the RGB, the Neopixel and RGB matrix feather wings. Those are specifically for the M4. Boards because it uses exact perfect library for it. Eventually we'll get those working, I'm sure, but for now it works with pretty much all the feather wings, and you can stack as many as you want as long as you don't have pin conflicts. So what does that mean? It's like, well, if you have all the feather wings and they're all I2C, as long as you don't have conflicting addresses, you can stack all of them together. If you have other feather wings that use pins, as long as those pins aren't conflicting, you can only have pin 11 connected to one item. So if you have a Neopixel wing and a dot star wing, you just have to make sure that they don't use the same pins. But you can stack mechanically. You can keep stacking them as high as you want. Okay. Pancakes.
Question was, how does the NRF 52840 work with the Cricut? They're having issues with the 52832. Would you simply suggest the upgrade? Someone said make sure you post in the forums about the NRF 52.
Yeah, I think post in the forums because the 832 should just work. It could be there's just a timing thing. Sometimes it's like the speed of the chip. I haven't done a lot of Cricut projects with the NR52840. We did like a basic test, but it could be that something specific you're doing is causing a bug. So I don't think you should get the 840 because it's a cool chip, but I don't think you should necessarily just jump and assume that they'll fix whatever your code is having.
Someone said they have thoughts of an Arduino compatible with a Cortex M and megabytes of RAM capable of running. Is this micro C?
UC Linux, yeah, micro Linux.
Yeah. Could that be the Grand Central?
The Grand Central is only running at 150 megahertz, so it's which is quite fast, but for Linux it's not terribly fast, and it only has only has 256K of RAM, which is not enough, I think, to run a Linux distro. So you'll want to use a different chip instead. I don't know what that is, but maybe in the future there'll be a larger board with a lot of pins that can run Linux as well.
Let's see. Did we see that Con Ed Blue Sky thing? Yes, I glanced out because I saw it on Twitter, and it was weird because it was just like this blue alien invasion looking thing. Price range for the Grand Central, it's not out yet. Don't ask.
It's not yet. Don't ask.
But we're gonna make sure it's very competitive with what the Mega is. Right.
But we'll see though. There's a lot on it, so it's going to be a good value. I think it'll be a good value, and I think people will be happy with it. As we make more and more of them, like sometimes we're able to reduce prices, but we'll get it out to people. We're working on it. It's a little rough at the beginning, so you'll see small amounts go in stock, maybe 50 at a time. Eventually, we'll be able to get a couple hundred built at a time, but we're still learning how to use the selective solder on a board this big.
All right. Well, Lady Ada, what type of engineering do you do? I'm just going to.
I do electrical engineering.
Okay.
And software.
And then, no, Pedro, like
firmware.
You do so many different things. You're doing CAD, but you're also it's like almost mechanical engineering sometimes. Like
Yeah, totally mechanical.
Right?
A lot of moving parts now these days.
Yeah. Like you're building what's considered mechanical engineering, and you're using really advanced tools.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
The art assemblies are getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Where we have to actually make assemblies. In CAD we have to joint things together. Yeah.
Okay. This is a good one. New Year's resolutions do you have for Adafruit, and what's the resolution you wish the industry would make? Do you have any New Year's resolutions? It could be
For the industry?
Yeah, industry.
For 3D
also,
printers?
Also for yourselves.
For yourself?
I was thinking just maker industry in general.
Yeah.
Probably just share more stuff. Like instead of showing a product, show what the product can do.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like more kind of maker update type shows where people are sharing other people's projects.
Yep.
We don't see a lot of that. A lot of people are just sharing their own stuff.
Yeah.
We try to do that here, and I like what you guys do in CircuitPython weekly. So.
And the show and tell, of course.
And the show and tell, of course.
You got any New Year's resolutions for Adafruit or for or the maker industry?
I'm just trying to keep this thing going every day.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, but everyone working together makes the magic happen. I think for the industry, I think I'd like to see more open source hardware. I think there's a little. I'm seeing some people retreat away from it. Some people going straight forward.
Not some, all.
Yeah,
there's a retreat because there's a lot of money on the line, and there's an assumption that if you do open source, the money isn't there, but that's not true. Adafruit's a successful company because of open source. Mm-hmm. Red Hat, open source, they're just recently acquired.
Yeah.
Open does win, but I think there's this idea that if you do something proprietary, you can trap people into something. Like Feather took off, not because it's proprietary and it's closed, it's because it was open. Mm-hmm. So I think I think more rewarded
open.
If you open it up.
Yeah, I think more open would be good. I think that would be great. And I do like that there is there's some of us who are keeping it strong. But if people can open source even part of their project, I think that would be great. I think you'll see more collaboration, and I think CircuitPython is a fully open source. All the hardware is open source, the software is open source, and we get a lot of amazing contributors. And I love the community that we built. And I think we can do that because we have open source. I think people appreciate that.
Yeah, I think just good. It works for this resolution works for Adafruit. It works for the industry. I think we can all, when we do something, are we building each other up? Are we building upon each other's smarts and best values and good efforts? Are we listening to that good voice? Are we building things together towards this better place? And I think that's the lens I want to look through everything with 2018, leaving 2018, going to 2019, and to be very specific. I think in our industry, in the technology world, building each other up is way better than tearing each other down, and I think that's a tendency. And I think it's the climate for a lot of the world, and I think we can show as makers and technologists that we're doing this together, that we're the good example maybe that people can look at. So just building each other up is the resolution.
It's a good way to sum it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
We're up to 717 stars, by the way.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Coming in.
See if there's any other ones in here. Okay, I think we got to all of them.
Oof. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, one more person. Two more questions. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're a senior in high school, heading off to college. Definitely want to. They're definitely doing CS as a major, but they're want to do another engineering aside. I understand EE would go extremely well, but with your experience, what would be more valuable long term, CS and EE?
I think
That's what you did.
those are a good pair. I mean, you can do EE and Mechie go really well together. CS and Mechie go well together. I mean, of course, if you like chemistry, like do chemical engineering, whatever you're interested in. But oftentimes you can do a dual major with EE and CS, and there's a lot of course overlap. So it's kind of like you get a little bit more bang for your buck. Like I did a joint degree because I took half my class in half. It kind of means I know like a little bit of each. You know, I don't know a lot about both, but for me, it's worked out.
Bridging those two worlds is kind of where it's at. Like the way that Adafruit has succeeded and thrived, and because I've been with Lamore for a while, is she's able to do the software, the firmware, the code for the hardware that she's designed, and like the hardware gets done, the software is where it's at.
Yeah.
And we were in a meeting not too long ago, and someone said, "Oh, it's just software." It's like, no, man, it's all software now.
It's
It's
there's
1,000
more than-
repos on
yeah.
GitHub. Like that's why we were able to exist. It's like we decided to invest in CircuitPython because like that it was a worthwhile thing to do. It's software.
Yeah.
The hardware is an interesting component, but you need a lot. It gets complicated. There's internet stuff.
Even hardware is software now. I mean, electrical engineering is good because it's like, especially if you take the
Yeah.
really low level stuff, just because it's.
I think those two together are powerful.
Yeah.
Right now, and you can do a scripting language on hardware. So, okay. Is there any way to change the I2C address on the VL53LOX?
You can, but not in hardware. You have to do this like reset pin thing. If you look at the Arduino library, you have to like put them into reset, and you can change one at a time and then take it out of reset. Kind of a pain, but you can do it.
Okay. All right, and thanks everybody. We're up to 718.
Thanks. And thanks for the.
Yeah, we
the
started about
stream.
100 away from that just not too long ago when I'm like, hey, let's try this out as an idea in a project. So you go to github.com/Adafruit/CircuitPython.
There you go.
And yeah, it's cool.
There you go. The lights are so
Okay.
bright here. Okay.
We'll do one more. What's the best Adafruit, Bluefruit, Feather connect several devices, Wi-Fi capable boards, maybe Pi to upload data to IoT? It doesn't need to be mesh.
I think actually, if you're going to do multiple things to Wi-Fi, check out the Particle Argon Wi-Fi pack. I mean, they get 3 Bluetooth boards and a Wi-Fi gateway, and it like all works. I'll just do that.
Okay. All right, Lady Ada, we're gonna give something away.
Okay.
It's trivia time. What do you want to give away this week?
Well, we could give away either an NR52840 Feather or we give an IoT Plus card. What do you think?
Let's give away both. Happy New Year. Kick it
What?
off. Yeah, they get a card and.
A full new year of so it's a year of IoT and maybe a year of Bluetooth NR52840. Okay, so here's the phone. The phone's here.
Oh.
Do you want the phone under the thing, or you want?
Yeah, we should do the phone.
Okay.
What are the rules?
The rules are: if you've won something before, you can't win again. Even if it was last year, you won a whole year ago, you can't enter again. Only one winner per my lifetime. The first person to call the magic phone number and ring this magic all-seeing phone will be the winner. I'm going to pick up the phone and say ahoy, ahoy when you call, and then I'm going to ask you your name, where you're calling from, and a project you're working on or you want to work on, and then I'll give you this prize, which is both a card for 1 free year of Adafruit IO and an NRF52 840.
We're not going to give away this many prizes. We just want to kick off the year.
This is just a beginning.
In a good way.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Kick it off on the right tip. I even put the phone number in the chat now, so there's no reason not to.
Okay.
That
So when
is
it
the
rings
phone
twice,
number. Rings twice.
I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to say ahoy, ahoy. And don't forget to star the GitHub repo so you can hear those dings.
Yeah.
Don't forget to mute the YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah, and then when you're talking, turn down your computer audio. Otherwise, we get a weird echo. Also, it's like they also get confused because your brain
like
is like,
reading.
what is happening?
That's true.
Why am I hearing my voice? Call the number. Oh, there's the ring. There's a second ring.
Is there a number 2?
There's number 2. Okay. Ahoy, ahoy. Ahoy, ahoy. Ahoy, ahoy. Hello? Hello? Okay. I don't think they were there.
I don't think they called me that. Okay. I don't think they called me that.
Okay. I tried.
I don't think they called me that. Okay. 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 I don't think they called me that. Okay
All right, get a second shot.
Yeah, round number 2.
Round number 2. Well, that's cool. Somebody has some CircuitPython code to decode. That's handy.
That's nice.
Nice.
We're back.
We're back. Oh, telephone. Okay. Telephone. Okay, now try again. Ahoy, ahoy.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to. Hello. Thanks for calling Ask Engineer. You're a winner. Please turn down your computer audio and then tell me your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Ben. I'm calling from Chicago.
Okay, Ben from Chicago. Well, congratulations. You've managed to call a phone number and answer these questions. You're going to win a prize. All you have to do is email support@adafruit.com, support@adafruit.com, and say, hey, I'm Ben from Chicago, and I've won a product number 4062 and a product number
3906.
3980. 3980.
I might have to write this down.
Okay, that's fine.
You can also go to adafruit.com/new. It's the NRF product, the new one, and the IO card.
I did not expect to get through.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so you ready? It's 4062
Okay.
And
462
and 3980.
3980.
Yep, and then email support@adafruit.com.
Okay.
And what's the project you're working on this year, or you want to work on this year?
I want to work on something related to Bluetooth.
Okay, well, you're in luck.
Yeah.
You got the right
Yeah.
word.
So trying to get Bluetooth talking.
Okay. Well, congratulations. You're getting the best prize for you because you're going to have some more Bluetooth. And if you get your project working, come on the show and tell. We'd love to see what you've built.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay.
The feather found the right person.
Always seems to.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's our show.
Whew. Thank you, everybody. What a year.
Well, it's only been a day.
What I'm talking about last year. Oh, hey, you forgot to show.
Oh, yeah, I'm turning off the phone.
We forgot to turn off the phones.
I'll turn off now.
Sorry.
That's all right. Maybe that's the advanced GitHub starring.
Yeah.
Someone figured it out.
It's you call the phone.
Every time you call, GitHub
This is like the Bandersnatch of GitHub.
Yeah.
It's calling you.
So do you want to let's put the GitHub thing on there.
Okay.
For another second.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else wants to start up.
Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is com/Adafruit.
There's a lot going on here.
Okay.
We're juggling.
Yeah. I want to show folks a little thing here. So I have, can you focus in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, when it's out of focus, it looks great because it's.
No, that's actually kind of cool.
Look at that. Leave it.
Let's keep. Oh,
Bing.
thanks.
Yeah. So this is the repo right here. You can see it's exactly what was on there.
719.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for starring. Yeah, that does look really cool.
Yeah, this is fine.
Okay.
This works. All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Thanks, Pedro, for showing up.
No, Pedro, thanks for.
Pedro, no, it's Pedro.
I always do alphabetical with people. I just try to.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for a great Adafruit adventure together and all the cool projects you've been working on.
Oh, thank you guys for letting us join the adventure.
Yeah.
It was exciting. Always a different project every week.
Yeah. I remember some Noah Pedro trivia. I think one time you said, do you think there's going to be enough projects to do?
Yeah, I was very concerned.
and now it's like
now you're like, there's too many things.
Enough lifetimes.
Many
projects.
projects.
And what's funny is this has happened a few times in my life. When I had started Hackaday, someone said, "There's no way you're going to be able to find an electronic project every day." I'm just like, "Oh yeah." And so that's
proved us wrong.
Well, you know what? It's just
you proved us wrong because you were able to do them.
Yeah.
You proved yourself
It's very
wrong.
hard when you haven't done this thing yet. It's like, well, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
The ball
So
drop.
the
It's like,
challenge
how
is-
do I make a ball go across a rail?
And
Well,
I
you
think one of
figured
the
it out.
cool things that we figured out is we kind of know each other's skill sets and more, and then we can amplify it with all the different people we work with. So that's why there's literally trillions of combinations of projects and things that we can do, and then all this new hardware that comes out. So thanks for keeping up and inspiring everyone and doing the show every week.
Thank you for having the mindset you guys have.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Growth mindset.
And special thanks to all the people watching, the Adafruit community, the Adafruit remote team members, the Adafruit employees who are helping stuff behind the scenes in our Slack channel and more. And all the folks that are starring our GitHub repo.
722, dude.
Yeah,
I have to change it so it dings twice. You know, because if it checks and
Yeah.
2 people started, it should ding twice, I think.
Yeah, so this is the most stars we've ever received in one day in the history of the repo. And I think since we started this endeavor, 100 people started, so thank you. That's a lot of fun. You know what's fun is when you work on something and then you get this little thing that's going, yay!
It literally goes
Yay.
ding.
Yay! A blink, it gets its wings. So don't forget the code First Brothers. That'll be going till midnight or a little bit after. And have a great 2019, everybody. Let's do this together.
Thanks, everybody.
Everyone else.
Can't wait to see what
Bye,
happens
folks.
this year.
Bye-bye.
It's going to be amazing.
Yep. Make some cool stuff, Chair.
It's going to be cool stuff.
Here
cool
is
art,
your
cooltronics.
Moment of Zener.
Good night and Happy New Year.
Don't forget to make a great day.
Yeah.
Not gonna say it
Make a
in the
great
show.
day.
We-
Make a great day.
Yeah.